Hello viewers, Forza Motorsport here and welcome to Watkins Glen. Now with it being Thursday, Forza Motorsport has rotated again and we have actually got a great set of tracks this time around. Watkins Glen, Laguna Seca, Maple Valley and Kyalami. Some of my favourite tracks right there. So we are at Watkins Glen setting a qualifying lap right now. Coming around the first corner in third gear, rubbing the curb a little bit too much. Coming down the hill for the fast straight, making sure you keep as far in on the track on the corners as you can, whilst also maintaining as straight as possible as you can, trying to maximize your speed down the straight. As we are going down the straight, you can see P1 has set a 1:15.322, which is an absolute great time. I've raced them before and they are a very quick driver, so it's going to be a nice good bit of competition between us along here, providing my rustiness doesn't kick in. It's been a while since we've been on Watkins Glen, especially this shorter circuit version, so hopefully we are not too rusty and are able to keep up with P1 and set a really good time. To be honest, looking at the time right now, we've got 2 minutes 26 left, so hopefully if I don't set it on this lap, I'll be able to set the fastest lap on the next round we have, because I'm pretty sure soft tyres don't last 3 laps on here. Or it could be just a longer track. Either way, soft tyres, 3 laps on here is quite brave. As cross over the line, we set a P3 time of 1:16.789. Let's give this another go and see if we can beat that time again. Coming around the last corner, we are 5 tenths of a second faster, so we're going to set a 1:16.327, which secures us a P3. Luckily enough, nobody beat our time at the end of that, because we still have 40 seconds left, and it's usually in the last 10 seconds someone's going to beat your time. But as we're starting in P3, medium tyres, because medium tyres should last the whole length of this race. Again, we are back on the shorter tracks. We are going to keep on the inside and tuck in behind X8X, Fat 8LX8X. But we do manage to make a move on TLJ174, taking the inside line, coming out the corner a bit quicker. Trying to stay in the slipstream of the Audi in front, I have noticed the MG is a little bit slower. There's been a shuffle around on the touring cars where power has been given and power has been taken away from a variety of cars. Coming up on the left hand side, X8X is defending very well, trying to keep us out of the slipstream, but we are not going to lose this argument. We are keeping a good distance away from them. I think this is quite a safe place to be, with knowing how the MG is with slipstream. Having a spatial gap like we have makes it a bit more safe, so if anything was to go wrong, we have a bit of space to try and fix the errors. But we are coming up to the next corner, breaking at 200 marker down to 4th gear, tucking it into the curb and accelerating out the other side, keeping to your left hand side. Again, dab on the brakes and tucking it into the right hand curb and accelerating on through and powering on the left hand side for the start and finish line. Again, X8X is defending their position. Brilliant racing. They're going to come back over and take up the line. I'm going to break at the 200 meter marker, down to 3rd gear and over the curb we go and accelerating down the hill. Trying to keep up in the slipstream of P1. I'm going to say P1 because it's going to be a lot easier than saying X8X. But we're going to try and keep in the slipstream of them and try and make a gap away from TLJ174. I'm going to keep on my left hand side while P1 defends their position. P1's going to come over in front of me and give me a little bit of a speed boost. Now this is where things go wrong. Because I'm in the aero wash at a high speed behind them, I managed to go off track and lose control of the vehicle and get myself a penalty in the meantime. Absolutely brilliant. Luckily enough, we haven't lost that position yet, but like you say, it's the aero wash in the MG is just weird. It's not always there, but when it is there, it really does kick you right in the gonads. So braking at a 200 meter marker, down to 4th gear, coming in the left hand side, accelerating out the other, and then I make a little hash up on this corner and go through way too slowly, way too sloppy, and TLJ is right up my trumpet pushing me along. So thank you for the help there, buddy, and sorry for slowing you down. But yeah, it happens. Braking at 200 marker, down to 3rd gear, TLJ goes up the inside and I managed to do the old switcheroo on them and gain that position back and come out the other side flying. P1 is now 0.8 seconds ahead, so I'm just in the slipstream, maybe just out, depending, because I can't see the temps. But hopefully we'll be able to gain on this and be able to claw them back, really. Keeping on the left hand side, looking out for the ambulance, and that will be our next braking point. Down to 4th gear, over the curbs we go. And as long as I don't mess this up again, I'll hopefully be able to claw back a few temps here. Clearly not. They are now 2 temps ahead of me, and I could have gone through there a bit faster. I was a bit more cautious because of what happened on the previous lap, so I'm still a bit unsure on the car and things like that. It's just not lost the confidence in it, if you want to put it that way. Braking at the 200 meter marker, down to 4th gear, coasting it round and accelerating out to the side. Bring it back to your left hand side in 4th gear, down with the brakes, get the nose down through the curb and accelerate out the other side. And we're still 1 second away from the P1 position, while TLJ is 0.5 seconds away, being able to gain their time on us thanks to the slipstream. Braking at 200 meter marker, down to 3rd gear and then coasting it through. Now I totally missed the apex, and TLJ goes into the back of me and then sends me off track. Now I know what you're all thinking, that incident could have been totally avoided, but hear me out what I'm going to say here. I blame myself for that incident. Now the reason I blame myself is because I missed the apex, so I'm at a disadvantage and I'm going too slow through that corner. If I hit the apex, or if I went through that corner much faster, knowing I can do that, then they would have totally missed me. And I think when I've gone through that corner, they didn't realize actually how slow I was going and had nowhere to go because they hit that corner correctly, like I should have done. So they went into the back of me, and because I'm flopping around everywhere like a silly little fish, they've got nowhere to go besides either hit that brake pedal, and they're still going to be pushing me anyway because I'm sideways, or they're going to just carry on. And I think they tried straightening me out, but I was so far gone that there was no help there. But the sad thing is TLJ quit the race. Now hoping it's not because of the incident we had together, because like I say, I blame myself for that one. So hopefully TLJ sees this video and is able to comment upon it. Let me know down in the comments below what you all think about the incident. You know, am I at fault for that one? Is TLJ at fault for that one? Or is it just a racing incident? It'd be great to know what you all think about it. Anyway, we do have a bit of time to make up. Digby 3744 is in P2, 4.2 seconds ahead of me. So I don't think I'm going to make that back in 2 laps, which is an absolute shame. But we are in P3, so we are holding pole position, which I can't really grumble. I mean, I started in P3, I finished in P3. It is what it is. If you're enjoying what you're seeing here, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'd also like to thank our channel members, Andy Good Guitar and Jeffrey Anderson, for being a member of this channel. If you'd like to be a member of the channel as well, don't forget to hit that join button. And I also have a Discord, so please come along and join that. Link is in the description. On to the next race. We are back at Watkins Glen. I also qualified for this race and we managed to get P3 again. So my idea here is to also make the move I did in the previous race, where I take the inside line and come out the corner quicker, thus being able to gain P2. But things were not meant to be in this race because Chulo has apex syndrome and has to hit that corner on the inside whether or not there's a car there. Even though you're pretty much parallel beside them, they must hit that apex. Now, it could be an issue of they've turned off proximity arrows or had no idea I was there. But you can always look and you can always hear, and if P3 is not behind you, they're more than likely going to be beside you. So, I don't know. I mean, what do you lot think down in the comments below? Let me know if I'm at fault for that incident or if that person is at fault for that incident. It'd be good to know your perspective. Trying to make a move and trying to catch up to them, looking around by the hut, accelerating as we get past the hut. They are 0.9 seconds ahead of me and 1.5 seconds away from P1. So I've got my work cut out for me here, trying to catch up to them. Look out for the 200 marker, dabbing the brakes down to 4th gear and rubbing the curb on the inside and accelerating out to the corner. And again for this corner, dabbing the brakes, clipping the inner corner better than I just did and accelerating out the other side. And you can see now P1 and P2 are leaving me behind a little bit. P1 is a very quick driver. I've raced them on multiple occasions. They are very, very quick. but I think P2 is more riding in their slipstream, and I could do with a little bit of that to an essence. I mean, the MG does suffer a bit whilst in slipstream. It's more of a leader car than a follower, but anything would help if I could be reeled in a little bit. Now they're 2 seconds away from me now, which is a bit of a burn, but what can you do? I mean, if the first corner went so well, then we'll be as a trio all together, I would say, unless I mess up this in a bus stop right now. But coming through here now, we are holding the car to its own, going through very slow. We could have gone through a lot faster. You're looking at going through there about 100 miles per hour, and I did it at 90. It was way too slow. But I do think I'm suffering a little bit from a confidence kick, where I'm not as confident in my own driving. I'm not as confident in the car either. So this is what's slowing me down as well. You can see I'm not going through these corners correctly. I'm all over the place. I'm off the line, near enough getting myself penalties, and I'm well away from the time I can set. That's the only thing I can think of that's causing me to be so off pace. And it happens. We all suffer from it, where we have multiple races where things go wrong, and it's just so hard to claw yourself back to what your standard is. But as we're coming down through here, we are 2.4 seconds away from P2, and P1 is 4 seconds away. Like I say, they are very quick and very consistent, so trying to keep up with them is a challenge. I was hoping to be able to have that challenge, but it is what it is. We are keeping away from P4, which is 1.6 seconds away. So we are in our own little race again, which is a shame. I do think P2 had a little bit of a hiccup there, because I'm managing to gain on them again. But it isn't meant to be, because like I say, I think our driving level and skill level are quite on par. Maybe they're a little bit better than me, because they are a little bit quicker. I would love to be able to have the original power of the MG before it was neutered. So I might have been able to make a move on them, to be fair, because if I had the extra 19 horsepower, that is quite the speed boost you need to be able to claw it back, especially as this track is a very fast track, has wide open straights, and that time gained would have probably helped me out massively. But it is what it is. Everything gets neutered once in a while, and the balance shift changes, except for the Audis never get touched because Forza logic. I mean, all the cars should be pretty much on par with each other, power to weight ratio, and whereas skill as well as the car's own quirks, where sometimes a car is a bit better in a corner, better at diving, or better at corner exits. Little quirks that the car has is what sets them apart from everybody else. Not that I have way more horsepower than everybody, and it's quite noticeable. But it is what it is, like I always say. As you're coming around this next corner, looking about 95 miles per hour, seeing the hut and accelerating out of the corner. Chulo P in P2 is still 1.8 seconds away, so they are edging away from me corner per corner. And I do think the Audi has a little bit better handling than the MG, as well as my skill set could also be improved on this track right now. As we come around our last corner, the start of lap 5, it could have gone a bit quicker through that final part. Again, I look about 95 to 97 miles per hour through there, and I went a little bit early and rubbed the grass bank. Looking out in left and side for the 200 meter board, braking down to third gear and trying to clip that inner part of the curb, but again I just miss it by an inch or two and come shooting down this back straight. Chulu P had a better exit, increasing the time again to 2 seconds away from me, and P1 is 7.6 seconds away, 7.7 now. I mean, they are really pushing it and managing to keep very consistent, which is absolute kudos to them and absolute great driving overall. Coming through here, now we are 100 miles per hour, looking just about right. Could have probably gone 1 or 2 more there. Coming around this back corner here, looking out for the hut and accelerating out the other side, and then trying to catch up on this back straight. Chulu P is now 2.2 seconds away. Again, there's little places where I can claw back a few attempts where I am missing due to not either going fast enough or just not getting tight enough in the corner, and I go off track, well, just about off track like that. And that costs time. It's costing an attempt or 2 attempts, 3 attempts here and there, and it all adds up at the end of the lap. Now you could think if I was not making these silly mistakes, I'd probably be quite close to True Loopy right now, but I'm not, and improvements do need to be made. Going through here a little bit too slow, see I'm not using the maximum part of the track, probably being a bit more cautious. We're at the end of the race anyway, and I know I'm not going to be able to catch up 3 seconds now, but I am 3 seconds away from P4. So I am in my own little bubble, still managing to hold on to podium, providing I don't make a silly mistake through the inner bus stop. Looking out on your left hand side for the ambulance, braking down to 4th gear, looking about 100 miles per hour. I'm doing about 105 at the beginning, coming out at the other end about 101, 102. Come around here looking about 95 miles per hour. So you see the hut, start accelerating out the other side, and then come over to your left and try and straighten that car up as early as you can to have a faster run out of that corner. Come back over to your right hand side, looking up for the 200 meter board, down by the brakes and to 4th gear, rubbing a curb on your left and bring it back over to your left hand side, dab on the brakes again, coming up to the inner part of the curb and accelerating out the other side. Could have gone a few miles per hour faster through there, but at the end of the race we have a P3 position and we are on the podium. So again, thank you all for watching. I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.